This episode of Basic Folk is brought to you by Yamaha Guitars. Yamaha's acoustic guitar legacy began with the introduction of their steel string FG series in 1966. Recently, their flagship FG9 model has become a favorite amongst bluegrass musicians such as Trey Hensley. The Yamaha Custom Shop in Los Angeles has handcrafted custom guitars for artists, including Jake Eddy, Fred Kosak, and Jordan Tice. Visit YamahaGuitarDevelopment.com to learn more about Yamaha's high-end acoustics.
Hey listeners, this is Travis Book, bassist and singer in the bluegrass band The Infamous String Dusters. I started the Travis Book Happy Hour to try to get to the root of what makes my contemporaries tick, what inspires and motivates them, and why they make music. It's an hour where we get to play together, talk about life, and do it all in front of a live studio audience. If you haven't listened yet, maybe check out some of my highlights, including Sierra Hull, Beppe Gambetta, Tim O'Brien, and Lindsay Liu. You can find every episode of the Travis Book Happy Hour on the Bluegrass Situation Podcast Network or wherever you get podcasts.
Hello and welcome to Basic Folk, where we have honest conversations with folk musicians on the Bluegrass Situation Podcast Network. I am Cindy Howes. I host this podcast. I am delighted to welcome our bestie, everyone's favorite. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lizzie No.
Cindy, that introduction was so beautiful. Thank you for treating me as an honored guest. When I'm more of a prodigal.
Yeah. And that's what we love about you, Lizzie. The biblical times we have together are truly monumentous.
Cindy, what the hell is up? How are you?
Oh my goodness. I'm so good. We have lots of exciting episodes. I just wrote up our March newsletter, which has already been sent out by the time this episode will be released. We have a lot of amazing things going on. The podcast coming up. We have this great conversation that you recorded with Jontavious Willis at Fwam Fest today. We also have several episodes that we recorded at sea on Kayamo.
No one can see me, but I'm making jazz hands in response to the phrase at sea. I love to be at sea. I'm a nautical girly. I'm an island lad. We had the time of our lives on Kayamo, and I feel like the interviews were like each one was its own little like episode of TV. You know, each one was like so special and different.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what's up with Lizzie No right now, but first I just want to remind people the best way to stay in touch with Basic Folk, to learn about all of the episodes that are coming up, and also to learn about how we are thinking and feeling about everything. You can sign up for our newsletter. There's a link in the show notes, or you can go to basicfolk.com and sign up there. It's once a month. It'll be worth it. Or you can follow us on social media. We are at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Basic Folk Pod. We're listener supported. You can make a contribution, basicfolk.com. And again, a link in the show notes for that. Lizzie No earlier this year released an incredible album titled Half Seas. I'm told that I say the name of your album incorrectly, so I'm going to try to say it correctly.
No, you don't. Who's telling you that? You're absolutely right. I call it halvesies because of how I talk, but you can call it half seas. It's an F.
I was calling it halvesies with a V.
I call it halvesies. Yes, I released halvesies, and now I'm on the road. I've been on the road what feels like all my life, but it's been about 2 months of nonstop, amazing touring. And you know what's crazy, Cindy? A lot of times, like, there are layers to how touring feels. Like, it's my dream, and I get so excited to do it, but then it feels so exhausting and draining. Lately, it's just been feeling like a dream.
Ugh. I love
People
that.
are being so nice about this record. Like, it's one of those, it's kind of like the first experience in my career where, like, I'll play a song and people are singing along. and like know, I'll say like, hey, this is Lagunitas, and people will get excited. So it truly feels like my childhood dreams are coming true in real time.
Ugh, that has got to feel incredible.
Yep. Choking back tears. It's fine.
On Lizzie's 2-month journey, they recently stopped by Fort Worth, Texas to headline the Fort Worth African American Music Festival, which took place March 16th, and Basic Folk was invited to host a live podcast taping. Lizzie spoke with Jontavious Willis. Lizzie, can you give us like a recap of what it was like to be at the festival and what the festival is?
So when I was a kid, my dad's family used to have these big reunions. They're from North and South Carolina, Baptist family, and it would be like a big barbecue in the state park or like in a church hall. We would have T-shirts made, people of all ages milling around, catching up. Often there would be an elder getting up to say a long prayer or make an announcement. And just this sense of belonging and intergenerational connection, that is what the Fort Worth African American Music Festival felt like. Brandy, the founder, is such a visionary, and they bring together artists of so many different genres, all of which fit under the roots music umbrella. So there's like this beautiful link between all of the music based on the African American storytelling and artistic tradition. It was my first time headlining a festival, so it couldn't have been like more of a special day for me.
Wow. Speaking of Jontavious Willis, Lizzie got a chance to speak with him live on stage, and that's what we're going to hear today. Cue us up for this one, Lizzie, if you will.
Yes. So Jontavious is a blues phenom. And when we talk about the blues, the phrase or the word torchbearer comes up a lot when it comes to young, new blues artists. And I think of that word as a double-edged sword. When you think of a torchbearer, you think about someone who's carrying on a flame that was lit long ago. It's somebody who's carrying on a tradition, but it also can come with restrictions, right? Old heads telling you you're not doing it right, or asking you, have you really paid your dues? Are you really faithful to the tradition? Asking you questions about whether or not you belong. And Jontavious handles that double-edged sword with such alacrity. His writing is firmly contemporary at the same time that his playing is rooted in the tradition of country blues. He knows so much about the genre that he's basically a walking encyclopedia of the blues.
Wow.
I don't want to spoil the surprise, but we played, instead of the lightning round, the traditional basic folk lightning round, we played a pop-up game at the end of the interview where I put different styles of the blues in one cup and different, like, ripped from the headlines 2024 topics in another.
No way.
And we just matched them up. So
Oh, my God.
he was so quick on his feet, and it's hilarious. I feel like Jontavious is a great example of a new spin on a genre that a lot of people think they know already. He is so adamant that the blues is a contemporary genre. And always has been. He made the point during our interview that a lot of the blues artists that we know and love and we've kind of encased in the amber of memory were young teens, 20-somethings when they wrote their iconic songs. And so it's really a genre for free people, for young people, for people looking ahead. It's not about the past. So my interview with him was so refreshing, and he's so funny. Another point of his that I thought we could all stand to sit with is that when we talk about country, often we're talking about a musical genre with a certain difficult history. But for him, and I imagine for a lot of other artists, country is a way of life. It's about being from out in the wild. It's about having a connection to nature. It's about sitting with quiet. It's about having time on your hands. And it's about a genuine experience of being connected to a particular place and time. So that was a takeaway that I thought was really, really interesting from our conversation.
Speaking of, this is a good song after that. We're going to listen to a clip from Jontavious. This is Take Me to the Country, and then we'll get to Lizzie No's conversation with Jontavious Willis on Basic Folk.
I've been all around the world, bought everything from diamond to gold. No matter where I go or what I buy, I'm still a country boy in my soul. So take me to the country, nothing but skies and pine. Oh, follow me to the country where we can have a real good time. Well, the folks in the country don't live too fast, got good mannerism and spectacular class. Take me to the country, nothing but skies and pines.
Jontavious Willis, welcome to Basic Folk. I want to get off to a quick start. I heard a rumor that the blues is dead. Would you care to comment?
Yeah, it's just a rumor. I know a lot of folks from different age groups, different races, but especially a lot of black young folks that's playing the blues. And so it's not going nowhere. And they popping up everywhere. And I think with the help of social media and the help of, I don't know, it's like a centennial celebration of a lot of the songs that we love that were recorded in the 1924. So, yeah, that's it.
I'm happy to hear that. Let's dig in a little bit more to your life story. You're from Greenville, Georgia, small city.
Town, yeah.
It's a small town. What was it like growing up in a small town, and what is the most Georgia thing about you now?
What's the most important thing growing up in a small town? I don't know, family. And I say the same for the most Georgia thing, because my family been in the same spot, documented since 1823, and my great-grandmother's still there. She's 100 years old. My grandfather's still there, grandmother's still there, and they on the same land. They kind of been on for over 100 or so years.
They own their land, and wow.
It ain't a whole
I know
heap.
that's right.
It ain't a whole heap, but it's like 20-something acres is more than what I got. And so, we grew up, my granddaddy was a farmer. He wasn't 100% farmer, but he worked and he also farmed. And so I used to like going out, getting the corn and taking the corn and shucking the corn and silking the corn and taking out the silkworm, snapping the peas. And I did it because, I liked it. See, my mom and them, they had to do it because they had to. And on and on. But yeah, I think that's what it is. And it's, southern country living that I really like. We're only an hour from Atlanta, so if you want to go to the city, you can. But Greenville only like 800-something folks, And so, yeah, I like it. It's real family-oriented, yeah.
What was your first guitar?
My first guitar? It was a $99 guitar my daddy gave me because he didn't think I was really going to play. So it was a $99 combo set where you get the guitar, the amp, the tuner, the CD, and all that stuff.
Oh, like that starter set?
Yeah, I still got it.
You ever play it?
Nah. I just sit in the room. But yeah, he gave me that. But because it wasn't too long after that, I got an acoustic guitar. And my grandma lent me some money to my mama paid her back. And I bought an acoustic guitar, and that was it. That's all I wanted to play after that. I might still play electric, but I really love acoustic guitar.
Yeah. You're an acoustic guy. I can relate to that experience too. Like when I told my parents I wanted to play the harp, they were like, "We'll rent one for a couple of months and see." You are famously an autodidact, and your style is like very unique to you. It makes me wonder, how do you introduce rigor and turn into the very accomplished guitar player you are now? How do you go from being a kid who's who's teaching yourself to where you're at now? What were your strategies for learning guitar, developing your fingerstyle technique, and what kind of environment do you need to learn? How do you set up your room when you need to learn something new?
Well, I think the first thing was I wanted to do it because I feel like you'll never do it if you don't really want to do it. Because some people just want to do it for a hobby. I didn't really want to do it for a hobby. I wanted to do it because I really, really, really enjoyed playing music, and I really enjoyed, the blues, man. I started listening to blues when I was 12 years old. Well, actively, it was always around, but like sitting down and just listening to it. I remember I used to go buy CDs. I used to buy, Ludacris, DMX, Outkast.
I listen to Ludacris constantly.
But it was good stuff. But I just thought I wanted to do it, and so I just found ways to do it. And being in the rural part of Georgia give you time. Anytime you got time to think, it ain't a whole bunch of sound, not a whole bunch of people. It ain't much to do. So I just kind of just went with it. Yeah.
That's really interesting. What's your practice regimen like now?
I never intentionally practice. I just want, if I want to learn a song, the only way to learn it is to play it, right? So I just sit and play, and if something comes to me, play, but nothing like hours and hours. It end up being hours and hours,
right?
But like
it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, because I wanted to do it. Yeah, so that's kind of like what it is now. Now I play pretty regular, so I'm always playing now.
You don't have to warm up if you stay warm.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's how I feel on the road.
I like it. That's a song. Yeah, it's a nice song.
We'll hit a co-write after the podcast.
I'm with it.
I want to talk about your first album, Blue Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Ancestor Blues starts the record, and for me it's a standout in terms of the acoustic production. Why was it important to start your very first album with that stripped-down track, just you and the acoustic guitar, and talking about the ancestors?
Well, I feel like it's a lot of, when you're playing older music, a lot of people want to know, how do you associate yourself with this kind of music? And I, not just being, I'm from the tradition, I'm from the South, I'm all on and on and on and on and on and on. But I also just wanted to talk about what I felt like is my politics in music, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the biggest thing I like to talk about, is just how influential the blues is, and how it's not slavery music, even if it was a good music, but it's post-slavery music, you know what I'm saying? It's what free people say. It's free people music. So when you listen to it and people think it's old folk music, it's good for the young and the old, but these guys were recording when they were 24, 19, 18, 14, these are young women and men that recorded. And so I thought, why not talk about what I thought was important to me on my first album. And I always write I record my own songs, but I play everybody's songs. So I feel like, there was a topic I felt like I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I have 60,000 questions in response to that, but we're going to keep our time. We're going to respect everyone's time. I do have another question about that song, though. There's a line that says, "Nobody taught me how to sing these blues." And that's something that I have read that you've said in other interviews. For example, that Taj Mahal helped you dig into the roots, into your musical roots, but your style of playing is something that you taught yourself. There's also kind of this ambient feeling that you referred to, where people are really, really interested in the past when it comes to the blues. Yeah. So how do you strike that balance between honoring the tradition and bringing your own unique, new, contemporary point of view? Yeah,
I think it go back to that first question too. I kind of wrap everything around my standpoint. At home is I honor the past, but I am living in the present. So I'm part of the tradition, but I'm still contemporary. You know, that me and my friend Tuffield, that we always talk about the difference between contemporary and traditional, but it's the same. In a lot of instances, it's the same. And I use those two terms because those are the only two categories for blues and the Grammys. Is contemporary and traditional. But if you're a part of the tradition, you are traditional. And then if you're living now and playing now, then it's contemporary. So it really don't make much sense. So I don't really try to not be, because I'm singing music where I'm from, so I'm singing about the stuff I heard people saying about, and some of the stuff is my experiences too. So it's not like I purposely try to not, I keep the vocabulary is in the essence of the music, and then I also I know what's mine. I know different keys and the different stuff that I haven't heard played anywhere. What different licks in the different keys.
Would you be willing to play an example of something where you started from a traditional place and you brought a unique Jontavious lick?
Let me see. Well, I do like it's probably been done before, but I say that might like.
Yeah.
It probably been done somewhere, but hey, I like it. And then it's other stuff in different little keys like D and B. I got some stuff I play in B like. Just little stuff like that, and a lot of it, the 3-finger picking too, like picking with 3 fingers, and then so you have your middle finger on your high E and your index and whatever. But yeah, I feel like I did. Then you go back and listen to something that sounds just like it, and you realize you didn't make nothing.
Yeah. Who are some like artists or producers that you feel are like really striking that balance well? Because we all know like. Okay, I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of white people making the blues in a way that's like deeply divorced from the tradition. And then I feel like there's like a loyalism that can like be a bit too much. Yeah. Who do you feel like are some other artists who are doing it really, really well, who we should all be listening to?
I just listen to the dead folk. That's sad to say, but it's so true. I only listen to, probably of the old guard. I really enjoy what Taj Mahal did to the blues because he brought some of that old stuff, but he used modern rhythms. And I think we can get lost in trying to show that we can play, this old thing. I think it's a time for that. But, I feel like that was their modern rhythm. And I think we got different beats and different rhythm that we can, utilize in our guitar playing or even the cadence in our voice. So, yeah, I would say Taj would be, because he's still around, too. Yeah. So I think he would be like somebody that I really like. He would take an old song that just you wouldn't even recognize it and turn it into like a lot of his songs from his first album. He just took a lot of old songs and just made them into like these current things. Yeah.
Speaking of Taj and ancestry, you've referred to Taj Mahal as like an elder who feels like a family member. How has working with Taj Mahal and other heavyweights like Keb Mo taught you about like what type of an elder you want to be when it comes time for you to mentor younger musicians? Yeah.
Well, I've always hung around older people. And I always have appreciated the presence of older people, especially the folk that were fun and they were older but they were young. Like one of my best friends was this dude named Henry Gibson from Bessemer, Alabama. And Mr. Gibb lived to be like 99. He died in 2019. I got to meet him toward like the last 3 years of his life. And when you hang around these folk, they like the cheat codes to life, Yeah. Especially these folk that did everything. They can tell you about everything. So I think being around a lot of those folk just help you with insight, help you with judgment. You still got to live your own life and do your own thing. But Taj kind of, told me more personal stories. Because a lot of these stories we get from these white folk that write these books and stuff, but the way they interpret it, it'd be good information. And a lot of this stuff wouldn't, I want to say that a lot of this stuff wouldn't be recorded had it not been for them, because a lot of times we don't appreciate what we have. Like we don't think to record grandma, because grandma gonna always be there, right? So but somebody else see it as like, this unique kind of art form. But
yeah, in a certain way, there's like a level of interpretation, and that comes with someone from outside of your community recording what's going on organically inside of it. That's a great point.
That's right. So so Taj, I got just more spill of like the the older guys they hung around with during the revival, and K-Up kind of got me more hip to the business side of it, which is also good to know, because the blues is an interesting field for sure.
Yeah. Can I ask you I want to go a little deeper on that.
Yeah.
I read an interview with you in, I believe it was an Italian blues outlet. And let me just say, guys, I don't endorse this narrative at all. And I found it kind of shocking to read, but also found it really relatable with some of the questions that I've gotten from journalists in the past. That's why we're talking about it. So this journalist said, "You're a true enthusiast who plays acoustic blues at a time when many young African-American musicians prefer electric guitar and showmanship. Why not take the easy way out?" So your answer was very nuanced. You started out with, I wouldn't frame it as the easy way out, but here's the choices that I'm making as an artist. And honestly, my heart broke in that moment, because I know what it's like to be out there doing your thing and bringing your original music, and then having someone try to compare you to other artists and make assumptions about the Black artist community that just are not true or fair. What I want to know is, you are a pop-in musician. You are a public torchbearer of the blues. What has your relationship with media been like? And how have you managed to maintain boundaries when people are bringing so many expectations that have nothing to do with you? Do you ever find it draining trying to assert, this is who I am?
Nah, because I feel like when they listen to my music, they know who I am. And I don't try to, everything the way I feel, especially, it's been a while since I did another album, but this next one that I'm going to put out this year, the next one I'm putting out this year, I try to put everything I feel in my music. And then if anything further, I feel like the folks that know me, they know, because I talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, they've been interviewing blues musicians for a while, and they kind of know the way, they've been used to it. They aren't used to the new crop of Black folk that been playing music. So it don't really bother me much, because I done got some crazy questions, but I just give them crazy. Sometimes I give them crazy answers, but sometimes I try to.
Can you give an example of a crazy answer?
Oh man, let me see.
That would tickle me.
I got you one. The dude had asked me he said, "What is something you looking forward to?" They always ask the same question. That's what got me too, when they ask the same question. What are you looking forward to in the next 10 years? I was making money. You know what I'm saying? What do you want me to say? I don't want to change the world either. I think a lot of people got expectation on Black folk too, that just because you playing blues music that you have to have something to say, because blues is such an old music that it seems like it's just the South and it's uneducated. But no, I play it because I love it. If you don't see me, I'm still at home playing the guitar. I'll do it because I love it. And any preconceived notion that you got, that's on you, because I graduated college. I make money. I got family. I got girlfriend. I talk to my mom and daddy. I'm going to raise my kid. You know what I'm saying? So and I still play the low down stanky blues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then go play it. I don't. It's good press too. All press is good press.
That's true.
And folks gotta. It's even with the crazy questions, it's good that folks still talking about the blues, and we giving them something to talk about too. I hope I answered the question.
You more than answered the question. Speaking of that wonderful album, what does the phrase or the concept "spectacular class" mean to you?
Well, K-Up actually gave the album that name, because in the song "Country," I just say "spectacular class" in the song.
Yeah.
But other than that, it really went too deep. Nah, this next one gonna be pretty deep though.
Okay.
Because it's been a while.
Can we have a preview? Can we have a?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got you. So this is just a solo song that I made though. was a time I wanted everyone to be my friend. There was a time I wanted everyone to be my friend. Now only friends I want is Johnny Walker and Big Face Ben. Just like winter rose in the spring, just like winter rose in the spring. Well, you keep on waiting and time will bring about a change. Well, I asked the Lord above just to send me a sign. He said we all birthed by Mother Earth and swallowed up by Father Time. My biggest downfall was announcing my defeat aloud. So many crooked faces I couldn't see who was smirking in the crowd. Some folks got it hard and some folks got it made. But if you living in the shadows, you can never see the shade. Well, a butterfly talking to a dying caterpillar about what it could be. It's just like talking to folks that have never changed me. Whoa, time, it brings about a change. Nothing lasts long when it stays the same.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, what a treat. Oh my God, I can't wait for this new album. One thing that I noticed in between Blue Metamorphosis and Spectacular Class is how much you've changed as a vocalist, and like how many additional textures it seems like you have at your disposal. Can you talk a little bit about that journey, and also like, are there vocal techniques you're excited to share on the new album?
Yeah, let me try to. Well, you know, my voice was kind of still not. It went filled out in between, and I think now it's where it's at for now anyway. So yeah, that changed, because when I was younger, I used to sing, you know, all this stuff, all that high stuff. Then when you had puberty, and then like your voice just shot, and it kind of hurt me so bad that I couldn't sing all that. I used to sing like a lot of R&B stuff, but I couldn't sing it no more, no way. And so yeah. So the Blue Metamorphosis, I think I put it out actually while I recorded it. I think I was 19.
Stop it.
20, something like that. And then the last one, it may have been that long ago, but I guess it's been 5 years ago. So 22.
Yeah, that's a big difference in your voice.
Yeah, so now with this one gonna be tough. But I don't have any really technique. Like I said, I grew up in church singing, so I kind of got the technique before I, thought about it really, and listened to all them blues singers too, and then playing in different keys. You got to sing in different key to play it. So yeah, I'm not really technical though. I just try to sing and try to mean it,
It's exciting to be able to like watch you grow as a musician in real time by having, like, by the fact that you started putting albums out so young. It's as a listener of your music, it's really exciting to watch. There's like so much to look forward to. Yeah. Do you have a title for the new album yet?
We got yeah. I do. Yeah, it's called West Georgia Blues. Nice. Yeah, cause everybody talk about different regional styles of blues, but they don't really mean that now, because you can play whatever you want to play, but I feel like you play where you from, and where you from and what you play. So I'm from West Georgia, so regardless if I'm playing a Delta style or a Piedmont style, I'm still from West Georgia. So it's just the West Georgia Blues, but it's also a song called West Georgia Blues on the album. But yeah, that's the album name.
Can we talk about country music, because you play country blues, and you've played the Grand Ole Opry, which is so dope. Can you talk about like what that experience was like? People call it stepping into the circle. What that means, I guess, is that you're being invited into a community. What did that feel like?
It felt pretty good, and it wasn't no bad pay for 2 songs either. No, it wasn't. And Marty Stewart it was his show, you know, and we did, I want to say, 2 more things together, and it was
awesome.
Even better. Yeah, it was great. So I won't never say nothing about that. It was good. But I had been to the Ryman though before, but I was there with Caleb. Them. It wasn't the Grand Ole Opry. Those 2 were different venues I'm thinking about. I did one thing at the Ryman with Marty, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed myself. Yeah. You know.
What role do you feel like the country side of country blues plays in your musicianship and how you see yourself as a performer?
Well, I'm from the country, so when I think of country, I don't think of music. I think of rural. I think of country, you know. Because to me, that's what country is. It's not just a style of music. That's why I think it's called country blues, because it's rural blues. It's blues out in the middle of nowhere, you know. So I think that's it. I'm a country man. I'm from the country. Like when I leave here tomorrow and go back home, I'll be in the country, in the wood.
Are there places that you've toured that you felt like really lit you up? That like sometimes like you never expect the cities that are going to be really, really great and really, really welcoming audiences. Have you had experiences like that on tour where you're like, this is so different from where I grew up, and yet I feel so at home?
Yeah. Not necessarily at home. I can't never get home nowhere. But I like a lot of places. Switzerland was Bern, Switzerland. I was at the same place for like 5 days, so you'd have to go
actually walk around.
Yeah, walk around and see stuff, you know. So I like Europe. I go to Europe probably about 2 to 4 times a year, and I really appreciate the architecture and the old, just how old it is. But I still love home better than anything. But it's warm and welcoming, and I get it a lot of places. I think the best times I ever had was just hanging out with the elders or hanging out with people after the show or my folks after the show, and we just sitting and talking and not trying to be like scholarly and like show, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people just be so scholarly and they know everything when you
come up to you with a wide look in their eye and they're like, have you heard of this person? Have you heard of that person?
Nah, I just like to chill and play a little music, talk a little bit or not talk a little bit, depending on the day, but I like Bern, Switzerland. If I had to name something off the top, and it's a venue like 30 minutes from where I live, and it's in LaGrange, Georgia, where I was born. I was born in LaGrange because Greenville ain't got no hot pill, and I was born at the house.
I'm a ZZ Top fan.
Yeah. So like, but this one a little older than LaGrange, Texas though. Yeah. And it's a nice 120, 130 cap. Room, and it's nice, and that is home, so that always feel good. But
I feel like I noticed when I tour, and especially like internationally, sometimes audiences respond to different songs that you weren't expecting. How do you feel? Like, do you feel like your live set changes when you're playing for like a European crowd versus like a hometown crowd?
Oh yeah.
And do you feel like there are things that don't quite translate? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
The English don't translate.
Right.
And I already got like a heavy tongue. Like I'm lifting it up for y'all, But so when you get around there, they don't know what you say, but they be so into it, know. And that's the other thing why I love it, because I couldn't imagine Americans, at least me, listening to somebody that I don't understand, and it's just one person. I couldn't stay there long. They just sit there and they just be looking and they be into it. That don't translate, but the feeling definitely translate. Yeah. And the set do change because I won't be worried about, because I do like a lot of comical stuff, and you can't do that in Europe. You got to just play.
Yeah, the jokes don't land.
You just got to just play. So, yeah.
Terrifying. Okay, I want to talk about Friend Zone Blues, which is maybe my favorite song on Spectacular Class. It's so funny. It's such a good song. It's so relatable. And to me, it is proof that the blues are not stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Like, it can be a vehicle for every contemporary topic on the planet.
Yeah.
What that leads me to is our final sort of segment of the interview, which is a game.
Uh-oh.
Are you down?
I think I'm down.
This is the game.
Okay.
In the cup in my right hand, I have styles of the blues. In my left hand, I have ripped from the headlines topics very specific to this time and place in 2024. We're going to pick a topic and we're going to pick a style, and you're going to play us a song.
All right, don't judge me, y'all. We did not rehearse this.
Disclaimer, it's meant to be goofy, but it's also going to be great. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, do you want to pick the first one?
I'd rather pick the topics. I'll let you pick the
Okay.
style.
You can pass on a topic if you don't care about it or know about
I'm
it.
going to try to go with the first one.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
What's the topic?
Toddlers addicted to iPads and tablets.
And the style is Delta Blues.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so we're about to hear a Jontavious Willis original about toddlers addicted to the iPad in the style of the Delta Blues. Take it away.
Pay attention when your mamas tell you to look. You ought to pay attention when your mama tell you to look. You can get your head out the iPad. Maybe you can get your head in them books. How can you write so slow? Oh, but type so fast. How can you write so slow? Yeah, but type so fast. Talk to me. Now I understand why you got 3 C's and 5 classes. Oh my. See, enough with the timeout. My mama never did do that. I said enough with the timeout. My mom and daddy never did that. She just get a cherry switch. And I bet the next time you sure know how to act. And you won't be on the iPad no more then. That was goofy.
It's an instant classic. Are you down to do one more?
Thank you.
Do you want to do one more?
I do one more. Oh, yeah. All right.
That was incredible.
Hey, y'all, if we go down from here, just know
That was amazing.
You want to switch it up this time?
Yeah.
I do styles and you do topics.
Okay, great.
All right. What you got? That's the most important one right there.
I have Starbucks workers forming a union.
Okay.
Have you heard about that?
I have heard about it, but I don't think I'm as educated to actually make a lot of things on that. Piedmont.
Okay, I have the Ozempic trend where people are taking
I can
diabetes.
talk about that one.
In case you guys aren't familiar, celebrities are taking diabetes medicine to lose weight, and now there's a shortage of it for actual diabetics.
Yeah, I would have did the Starbucks worker for you, but I'm not as informed.
It's actually it's a very technical and involved
See, I would have to be
moment.
like in it. Yeah.
Okay, what's the style?
Piedmont.
Let's go.
All right.
The Ozempic shortage, and in the style of Piedmont blues.
Can I get more guitar? Is that possible?
Oh yeah. Thank you, Ty.
Me and my doctor, we sure have to speak. Oh, me and my doctor, we sure have to speak. I gotta lose 20 pounds and I need to lose it before next week. I haven't been one of those folks to do everything what other people do. I ain't one of them folks that do things what other folks do. I hear the celebrities taking a jab. Lil Johnny might take one too. I just play. My mama diabetic. She got to stash herself. Said my mama diabetic type 2. She got a stash for herself. If I can get that before time, then I won't need no gym help. Lord, I won't even have to work out. They said all I got to do is just stab my belly and I can keep on eating my sausage biscuit with a little bit of jelly. Yeah, I done found out for myself. I'm gonna do it right now, and then I'm gonna myself. All right.
Jontavious Willis, you have been the most amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You are playing your own music on this stage after this, is that correct?
Yeah, well, some of my music and some other folk music, but we gonna get down.
Everybody stay right where you are. I mean, maybe get a drink, but stay right where you are. What a star. Thank you so much, Jontavious.
Thank you. Thank you.
This episode of Basic Folk was produced by C.J. Nungesser. Our music composed by Alex Stanton. Basic Folk is on the Bluegrass Situation Podcast Network. You can find all of our episodes there. You can check us out on folkalley.com or Folk Alley's mobile app. You can search for Basic Folk on the SiriusXM mobile app. You can find us wherever you get podcasts or at basicfolk.com. Special shout out to Bruce Warren and our friends at WXPN in Philadelphia for letting Lizzie use their studios to record this intro and outroduction. Thanks, guys.
Listen, I'm going to be real with you. You need to give this episode to your dad, okay? Send this to a dad in your life, a father figure, someone who takes care of others. That person needs to hear this conversation with Jontavious Willis. And if you have a few dollars to spare, please go online and search Abortion Care Tennessee. We are currently in Fundathon with the National Network of Abortion Funds. Abortion funds all across America need funding to get health care to people who need it the most, many of whom are traveling out of state for care. So if you search Abortion Care Tennessee, between now and May, your donation will be doubled. We are in the matching period of Fundathon. Abortion forever, no matter what.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Lizzie. Guess what? We'll talk to you next time, and we love you. Bye.
Bye.